Okay, this tutorial shows how to share data amongst different views in your application. I'm going to go ahead and run the app example here. Just a single view with two views. It says enter text to share to the next view. I'm going to put my first name in here, hit submit, and there's the data I just typed in. I'll change it to show you. All right, so let's see how this works. Basically, you need to create a new um, project, and for this example I'm creating a single view, and I'm going to call it shared data with views. I'm going to do an iPhone one. Create it. First thing I'm going to do here is change in my Xcode. I've got 6.1. I'm going to go to the file inspector and uncheck size classes and auto layout both, so I can be in control of the layout totally. So there's my one view. I'm going to add a new view. And the first view, I'm going to add in a label, text, and a button to submit. Second view, I'm going to add in a navigation bar, label, and another label. First label, I'm going to put in here shared data is, this one I'm going to stretch out here. And let me go ahead and go to the size inspector. That's good. That's fine. That's fine. Upper left is fine on that one. I want this to actually stretch, so I'm going to add in this. Leave that one as is. I'm going to name this submit. Now the classes have already been created for this first view controller. The second view controller has not. So I'm going to go and create a group for the view. A new file. Be a Cocoa Touch class. Make sure it's a UI view controller. I'm going to name it Data View Controller. And create. I'm going to go back to my storyboard, select that view, and go to the Identity Inspector and select the Data View Controller. I also need to add on this one a button to go back. And I'll call this My Data. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my assistant editor so I can start creating outlets and actions. This is going to be an action, but because of, yeah, there we go. BTN back. I need an outlet for this label. I'm going to call LBL, let's just do txt data. Outlet on this one, txt data, and then button. btn submit. Now the trick to share data here, let me make this label change. I'll put in enter in the data to share. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to the app-delegate.h, and we're going to put in here some data to share. So it's going to be our shared variable. Call it name. Okay. I also need to import the app delegate into both the data view controller.h that I added and the view controller.h, which is the first view controller. So we can utilize that shared variable. Okay, so when the user enters in the text, hits submit, it's going to go to this page and show the data, and then go back to the first view. So again, enter in text here, submit, go to this view page, hit back, go to the first one. So in order to do that, we're going to have to create a segue here. I'm going to do a control, click, drag the submit button to the view in question here that the data is going to go to, and select modal. And when the user, and on the back button, for it to go back, we're going to have to select self-dismiss view. I'm just using code from the other example that I created earlier. So there's the back. What this is going to do is dismiss the second view and go back to the first view by doing the dismiss view controller animated completion. So when the user hits submit, it's going to enter in the data here into the variable we put in the H, the name variable, and then it's going to go to this view and load the data here. So we need to go to the submit button event first and type in name equals self.txt data, which is the text field that the user is going to type in the information. So when they enter in that information in the text here, it's going to go to this view and should load here. So let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to run it as an iPhone 6 Plus. Might have to play around with the alignment a little bit. We'll see here in a second though. So I typed in my data, hit submit, and it's not showing up over here because I've not yet put any hooks in here for the label, but it is going back. So let's go to the M, and we're going to go to the data view controller.m, which is the second view, And here we're going to type in the name of the data label. Equals name. Let's run it now. There he is. There's the data. Go back. Change it a little bit more. And that concludes how to share data amongst views. Hope that helped.